We are going to make history in California. Thanks to the leadership of Governor Brown, we will become the first state in the nation to guarantee paid sick days for every single private sector worker, notwithstanding what industry they work in, irrespective of their status as a part-time or seasonal employee, and regardless of the size of their employer. We become the first state in the nation to ensure that every single private sector worker will have the opportunity to take sick leave and be paid, not lose their job, not lose hours if they are sick or a loved one or a child is sick. I am myself a single mom, a single working mom, and for the past 18 years I've worked hard, never taking a single sick day for myself. But like every parent, I face those rare but unavoidable mornings when one of my kids wakes up with a fever or their school calls because they threw up in class. I faced firsthand the challenges of having to juggle work responsibilities when one of my kids needed to see a doctor or simply stay home from school to get better. But I'm one of the lucky ones. I always had sick times that I could utilize for the care of my children. No parent should ever have to experience a heartache between choosing between making the rent and taking care of a sick child. And now in California, they won't have to. When people who work hard and just want to make the most for themselves and their families have that opportunity, that we should not create additional barriers, that we should tear down those barriers. And this is one of them. You know, people who work hard and they work 30 or 40, 50 hours a week shouldn't worry about losing their job if unfortunately they catch a cold.
Today we celebrate a tremendous victory for the 6.5 million hardworking Californians who will no longer have to sacrifice their health to avoid missing work or losing income. With the stroke of a pen, Governor Brown will impact the lives of 6.5 million workers who do not currently have access to paid sick days, but that will soon change. We said it was important. We knew the challenges that had come before. We created a very limited bill that would cover as many workers as possible, but with just 3 days. The average worker requires 2.2 days of sick leave. So we know that this is not sufficient in the terms of those big circumstances, but this will cover the basic necessities, and it sets a standard. So we worked closely with the governor's office and fought through, and here we are today.
Thank you. So I'm really glad to sign this bill. When you look at the power and the wealth that is accumulated by a very small percentage, and then you look at the people at the bottom that are making $9 an hour, even if they work 5 or 10 years, this is the least we can do. And there's more in the coming years. We have to fight against the growing inequality, the immiseration of millions of families in our country and certainly in our state. This is a real step forward. It helps people, whether it's a person working at a car wash or McDonald's or 7-Eleven. These are real people. We all take advantage of their labor, and they ought to have basic decency, basic wages, basic benefits. So this 3-day sick leave is definitely a step forward, and I hope what happens in California does not stay in California, but spreads all over the country.
It's not enough that California has passed this. There's still 40% of private workers throughout the nation are without a single hour of paid sick leave. Massachusetts has this on the ballot in November. We're going to be going out there and helping with that campaign, and then going to other states who have really been open to this idea. The governor of Illinois has asked for a sick day bill to get to his desk. So we're going to work with some legislators from Illinois, Colorado, Maryland, some areas where it's really fertile ground, and it's the time to do this. Today is an amazing step forward, but I'm not satisfied and won't be until the United States of America joins the other 22 richest nations in this world and provides sick days for every single worker. I'm so grateful that Governor Brown let us start here in California. And the legislative leadership and the legislators who are here today in those waning hours of session help make this a reality. But most importantly today, I'm extremely happy for the 6.5 million workers who will now be a little less wary if they or a loved one feels ill. I know my community, they don't want a handout. They don't want charity. They just want the opportunity to do as best as they can and to provide a better life for their children. That's what we're trying to do.